Back in 2021, one of the biggest companies on the planet changed its name and bet its entire future on a single, massive idea. It was a moonshot that promised to redefine reality itself. But what happens when a $70 billion dream comes crashing back down to Earth? Okay, let's get into it. This was the moment, right? Mark Zuckerberg wasn't just launching a new product, he was announcing a whole new era. The Metaverse was going to be the successor to the mobile internet, the next great computing platform. It was this huge vision of a fully immersive 3D digital world. But here's the thing about a big vision. Eventually, it has to meet reality. And this is that reality. $70 billion. Just let that sink in for a second. That's the absolutely staggering amount of money Meta's Reality Labs division has burned through chasing this dream. To put that into perspective, that's like 3 times NASA's entire annual budget. So how on earth did we get from that bold promise to this astronomical price tag? To really get why it failed, you first have to understand the dream. And this wasn't just about cool video games or something. Meta envisioned a whole parallel digital life, a complete virtual existence that would supposedly merge with our physical one. It all sounded so compelling in a slick keynote, didn't it? You'd strap on a headset, meet your colleagues in a virtual room with floating whiteboards, and then after work, you just pop over to Horizon Worlds to hang out with your friends as, these legless avatars. This was sold as the next big evolution in how we all connect, a world beyond the tiny screen in your pocket. It was a fantastic sales pitch. The only problem? It was a product literally nobody was asking for. And that, my friends, brings us to the hangover, the massive financial reckoning for a bet that just did not connect with people. The numbers here are, well, they're just jaw-drop. Just look at this table. Quarter after quarter after quarter, it's the exact same story. Billions of dollars in losses. In just the third quarter of 2025, Reality Labs lost over $4 billion, while only bringing in about $470 million. These aren't just R&D costs. These are colossal structural losses on a product the world just wasn't buying. And this right here really just lays it all bare. For every single dollar Reality Labs earned in that quarter, it lost more than 9. A 9-to-1 loss ratio. I mean, you don't need a business degree to know that a model like that is fundamentally completely broken. So yeah, something had to give. And in early 2026, it finally did. Meta quietly, almost secretly, started dismantling the dream. 1,500 people were laid off. VR game studios were shut down. It was a quiet admission that the grand experiment, at least as they first imagined it, was dead. The metaverse era was officially over. But here's where the story gets really interesting. The idea of a virtual world wasn't actually the problem. Meta's approach was. While their Horizon Worlds was basically a ghost town, a totally different kind of metaverse was absolutely exploding. And that's a key question, isn't it? Was the whole concept just a dud? Or did Meta just completely whiff it? Well, it turns out millions of people were already living, playing, and creating in a virtual world every single day. It just wasn't Meta's. This slide tells the whole story. It's a tale of 2 virtual worlds. On the left, you've got Meta's Horizon Worlds, a ghost town known for its weird, legless avatars and shuttered game studios. And on the right, you've got Roblox, a booming digital nation with 144 million daily users, insane engagement growth, and a massive economy built by its own creators. The contrast could not be more clear. And we are not talking small numbers here. Roblox grew from 85 million daily active users to 144 million in just 1 year. That's nearly 70% growth. So while Meta was pouring billions into this top-down vision nobody wanted, Roblox was busy building a bottom-up ecosystem that people couldn't get enough of. So, with the metaverse dream officially dead, you would think Meta would have learned its lesson, right? But instead, it pivoted from one hugely expensive abstract vision to another, all while an actual winning product was hiding in plain sight. Meet the new buzzword, superintelligence. Meta is once again spending billions on some far-off future. But the strategy feels weirdly familiar, doesn't it? Massive spending, really vague promises, and no clear product for a concept most people don't really understand or need. It's another solution searching for a problem. And here's the paradox, the really crazy part. While they're off chasing superintelligence, Meta has a product that is quietly, brilliantly successful. The Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. Sales tripled last year. And why? Because they aren't some grand vision. They're just a simple, useful tool that solves boring, everyday problems, like taking a photo or making a call hands-free. And this reveals the crucial lesson. Meta's biggest successes seem to happen when they solve real-world problems, not when they chase fantasies.
But, and with Meta, there's almost always a but. Here's where the old habits creep in. Instead of just letting a great product be a great product, they're forcing users through their clunky Meta AI app for everything. They're turning a simple, intuitive tool into a delivery system for their bigger, less popular AI ambitions.
And they are running out of time. Meta had this huge head start in smart glasses, but the competition is coming, and it's coming fast. Samsung, Google, Apple, they are all jumping into this market, and you can bet they won't make the same mistake of forcing users into a flawed ecosystem. So, after all of this, what's the real lesson? What's the takeaway? It's not really about virtual reality or artificial intelligence. It's about a fundamental misunderstanding of what people actually want from technology. See, the Metaverse Bet didn't happen in a vacuum. It was part of this larger tech moment that was obsessed with big narratives, NFTs, blockchain, Web3. It was an era where the story often seemed way more important than the actual product. This quote just captures the feeling of that time perfectly. It was a confusing mess of jargon and hype, where it felt like everyone was chasing these abstract concepts without asking one simple question: why? The metaverse was basically Meta's version of spending your house money on digital rock clip art. And that's the pattern right there. Zuckerberg is a narrative-driven founder. He wants to invent the future. But in the process, Meta consistently overlooks the simple, tangible products that are working right now in favor of the next grand and often flawed story. The path forward is surprisingly simple, and it's all taught by their own accidental success with the Ray-Ban glasses. First, solve real, even boring problems that people have today. Second, focus on making a good product better, not on telling a grand story. And finally, when you have a hit, just let it be a hit. Don't try to force it into some larger, unwanted vision. Which leaves us with the $70 billion question. Meta has stumbled upon a golden egg with its smart glasses. It's a product people actually like and are willing to buy. The challenge now is whether the company has the discipline to nurture it, or if its obsession with chasing the next big narrative will cause it to fumble the future all over again.